The job of a photographer or videographer, creative, whatever you want to call it, right, in that space, there's a lot of twists and turns, there's a lot of growing, there's a lot of learning, there's a lot of different aspects, right? But the question is it worth it? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tony. It's been a long time since I posted any videos, so as always, thank you for taking time out of your day to be a part of mine. Today, my goal is to answer a few questions that I had when I first started, such as, where do I even start? How do I start? What does it take? How can I make money now doing this? Because, really that's the long-term goal, right? Is, to actually make some sort of income with this. How I'm going to answer all these questions is going to be based on all of my experiences in this field and the experience of others, of all the other creatives that I've had the pleasure of working with and meeting just along the way. It just happens when you start working in this field. You start collaborating and working with other people. You get invited to different type of shoots and you start working together and you hear stories. So without taking up any more of your time, because that's one thing that we all have that is very precious, let's go ahead and dive in and let's talk about, well, what it takes. Without a doubt, I would say the biggest thing that it takes is passion. It sounds super cheesy, but passion and your enthusiasm about this, craft, genre of work, whatever you want, occupation, if you want to get technical, whatever you want to call it, it takes passion. Because there are times, especially when you're just starting, it's just like we're trying to answer, is it worth it? You know what I mean? And if you don't have that passion, you don't have the knack to just want to make something, right? You don't have that passion to carry you along through that journey to make it to the end, to make it to where you're trying to reach. That passion will not only push you past your limits, but it's going to also boost your creativity. It's what's going to inspire you in the moment on a shoot, when you're making a YouTube video, when you're doing whatever it is that's creative. The passion is going to bring that out of you. And like I said earlier, the passion is really what's going to keep it going, because in the beginning, there's not a lot of money. Not because you can't make money, but because no one's going to hire someone who doesn't know how to use a camera, right? Who doesn't know what they're doing as a photographer, as a videographer in the beginning, right? So that's why the entry level, you're not going to be making a lot of money at first, because you're just starting out. You're starting from square one. Just like any other occupation, you have to start from the bottom. You can't just start off making Marvel movies or whatever, or making $1 million commercials, what have you. You got to start at square one, which leads us to the other question. Where do you start? I've been saying this since the beginning. I tell everybody who's ever interested into this field, start off with the thing that's in your pocket. It's cheap as far as like entry level, because you already have something in your pocket with a camera. It's a perfect place to start. Is it going to take $1 million photos or photos that are going to land you big client deals? No, but it's going to create the groundwork for this passion. What do you mean by that? When you're using an iPhone, smartphone, whichever, you don't have the best lenses. But what you do have control over is your composition and your lighting. Once you understand those two things, that's what's going to open other gates for you. Once you start figuring out your composition and how you want your subject in your frame, or whatever it is you're trying to take a picture of, whether it's a person, object, or even just landscape photography, when you figure out what it is that's eye-appealing, figuring out your levels, figuring out what your focus points are, all of those things within your frame, that's what's going to make your image. And then figuring out lighting to go along with that. Do I want to shoot into the sun? Do I want to shoot away from the sun? How am I going to get the best lighting for my subject? How am I going to get the best lighting for the landscape photo? Those are all things that you're going to need to know even before having a professional camera, because those are things that come into play. And let me be clear, I'm not saying gear doesn't matter. Gear definitely does matter, because again, no one's going to hire you for a project if you're just showing up to a wedding or a gig with just your iPhone and nothing else, right? What I'm getting at is that a smartphone in your pocket is your everyday camera that you're going to have with you. That's going to be your everyday tool to learn the basics. And the reason why I always say iPhone is because that's how I started. You can go back on my Instagram and just scroll all the way to the bottom. That's where a lot of my first photos came from, was just all in my iPhone. I even got hired to do a real quick short commercial for someone, and I shot it all on my iPhone, and it turned out great because I learned the basics of composition and lighting, and it worked very well. And that goes for both photo and video, because that's your foundation for both. There's a lot more, of course, with video, because you got to think about audio, you got to think about your shutter speed, your frame rate, and there's all those other technical terms, but again, this is just where to get started. And of course, another great on-hands way to learn is by asking someone else to be their second shooter on a wedding or whatever set that they're going to be on for photography or videography. Even if you're just handing them lenses, handing them gear, holding a flash, holding a C-stand, whatever it is that you're having to do to help to assist that person, you have an opportunity to get someone else's knowledge, right? To see what they know and kind of learn from them and see how you can incorporate that to what you do. And plus, you never know, that might actually lead to a job. That person could start paying you to be their second. From there, you might actually go into a lot more hands-on and actually taking photos for yourself and for them, and you're able to go off and do another project from it. It just, point is that it can just grow into other things, and you just never know until you try. So that kind of already answers some of the last question, how we can start making money now doing this. So assisting someone else on their project as a second shooter, as an assistant, that's a good way to earn money right off the bat. Another great way is stock photography. Most sites, like the one I recommend below, have a minimum of like what the quality of photo or video that you upload has to be, so make sure you pay attention to that. But that's a great way to start earning some cash. A lot of creators, including me, other companies, they all need stock photography, stock videos for their assets that they're trying to create. There's times where larger businesses don't have the budget to afford, a crew, someone to go out there and actually do all the custom photography, so they'll just get stock photos, stock videos to make what they need. I do it for myself for my current role, my job. Sometimes I just need a quick photo that I know is going to go and meet my client's demands, and so I'll get a stock photo because it's already there and it's available to me. It's saving time out of my day instead of having to set up a whole new shoot for just one photo that I need. So is the stress of learning a completely new craft and starting off from square one, sometimes unfortunately crappy jobs, bad clients, is that all worth pursuing this passion of photography or videography? My answer is yes. Since I chose to follow this passion of the arts, of communication, of branding and marketing, it's been a lot of fun. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do. Like when I first started off in my corporate career, right? I thought I wanted to do something in like HR and training, just because I still liked teaching, right? That was something that was just interesting to me. Like I didn't want to teach in school, but I wanted to teach something. I didn't know what it was, and well, here we are. Now I'm training other people to do photography and videography and teaching them storyboards and whatever. I digress. Point is, it's all been worth it. I've enjoyed the journey, and for me personally, it's just been one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I promise you, you will get better. You will see improvements. It's one of the reasons why I still keep a lot of my old work posted, because it gives me an opportunity to see how far I've come from a really crappy photo on my iPhone that I thought was just, oh my god, amazing. And I look back at it now and I'm just like, what the hell was I thinking? Or even old videos that I have. So I haven't even posted all the videos just because some of them were just too cringy, to be honest, but I still have them because it's an opportunity to see, hey, little Tony, you started up here. Now here you are. I mean, I'm still not way up there. I'm definitely not the best. I still have a long way to learn, to go. There's other things I want to dabble into, like short films, and even documentaries are starting to get interesting to me too, but anywho, that's another story. I wanted to share all this knowledge just really quickly to kind of get to the point of, some of the things that I wish I knew when I was first starting, just to have that other person giving me that advice that I didn't have. It was YouTube University that kind of convinced me to do this stuff. And that's it for this video. I'm going to be sharing more of this type of stuff, my advice, my experiences, tips, tricks of the trade that I've learned over time. I think I'm going to start posting these videos every Sunday, so I'll be on the lookout on Sundays. These videos are going to be coming out. Maybe Mondays. I don't know. Still undecided. Mondays or Sundays. And please hold me accountable too, man. Like in the comments, on my social media handles, wherever, just be like, hey Tony, what's up? You said there's gonna be another video. I don't see a video. What? But yeah, guys, that's basically it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell to get notified when we post new videos, and follow me over there on Instagram. That's usually where I'm the most active with everybody who follows me, so people can hit me up there, and by all means do. I love to hear success stories, and people ask me questions all the time too. Well, not all the time, but when people do ask me questions, I do love to help out. I do love to collaborate anytime someone wants to, I don't know, just shoot the shit and just talk about whatever, or just has questions on gear. Always happy to do it, guys. Can't wait to hear your success story, and it's getting late and I don't want to risk waking up my daughter, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Thanks, guys. Till the next one.